Good evening, Gills fans. Welcome back to the latest episode of Gills in the Blood TV. It is Wednesday, which of course means it is match preview showtime, and it's another big game for the Gills this weekend as we travel to Doncaster Rovers to take on Grant McCann's team in what is a clash between two of the very much in-form sides in the division. And I'm pleased to say that tonight, to give us all the information that we need regarding our opponents this weekend, I'm joined by Danny Dickinson. You can follow him on X at Danny Green Rover, and he is part of the brilliant Rambling Rovers podcast. So, Twitter handles for both will be in the description at the end of this video. Go and give him and them a follow for a Doncaster perspective on everything this weekend in the build-up and after the game. Danny, how are you? Good?
Yeah. All good, Matt. Thank you. Yourself? You all good?
Can't complain, mate. Like I say, apart from a cold, so I'm going to let you do a lot of the talking, and I'll try not to please too much while you tell us all we need to know about Donny. But yeah, in terms of league fixtures so far, it's been a great start for both sides. Doncaster have picked up 3 wins from their 4 fixtures, just a solitary defeat, which was a bit of a surprise, I think it's fair to say, away at Newport County, but very good wins against Accrington and Port Vale most recently. So it's 9 points from 12. And for the Gills, it's 1 point higher up, 3 wins and a draw. They've come in the way of victories against Carlisle, Morecambe and Chesterfield, and a 0-0 stalemate at Fleetwood a couple of weeks ago. First question I've got for you, Danny, is given the potential for some sort of playoff hangover after the heartbreak of last season, having done remarkably well from sort of March to the end of the season to gate crash the top 7, you must be really, really pleased with the solid start that Donny have made.
The thing is, we seem to have started this season when, like 6 months before, from our run from last season, we've carried it on, kind of. We've gone 24 games consecutively scoring. So we've scored in every game in 24 previous games. Longest run in England of any team as well. We've carried it on, which is good. We did all this transfer business earlier on in window. We got everybody in practically by end of June. 7 of us 9 signings were made in that window, in that time. So it kind of like we've gelled already. We've already got a set, a settled team, a settled squad even. And kind of like gone on from there. It's just been brilliant so far. Apart from that minor hiccup at Newport, which is understandable because we always seem to lose at Newport. We never seem to win there. So it's like a bit of a bogus side. We never win at Newport. So
yeah, we all have them, don't we? But to be fair, I mean, given the fact that I think most people thought they'd struggle this season, I think it's probably not such a bad result given they've had a really solid start to the campaign as well. So yeah, like you say, probably just a blip and a bump in the road rather than anything major. You spoke about transfer business and you got it done nice and early, and I think that was probably one of the benefits for us as well. We had 4 in by, I think, the first week of June, and then sort of there was a few more came in after that. But I think as fans and as a manager and as a coaching team and a staff, you want your new players to settle in and have an impact fairly quickly. I think the Gills have got 3 new signings off the mark in terms of goals already, which is great. So how important is it for Doncaster that the likes of Jordan Gibson and Billy Sharp have come in and settled? We know obviously Billy Sharp has history with Donny anyway, and he's a very good footballer. But my concern with Billy was, would he fit into the style of play that Grant McCann wants to play? And at the moment, he's making me look very foolish, which is fine. And I'll sit here and eat a massive slice of humble pie.
He's not. You're not the only person to make people eat the words. Many people were doubting him to coming here to Doncaster Rovers, back to us. His age, for example, is 38. But you just got to look at his history of what he's done. He's a leading all-time goal scorer in Championship. He hasn't really played at this level since the start of his career when he was on loan at Dagenham and Redbridge from Sheffield United. He's always played at like Championship level all his career. He went to obviously LA Galaxy beginning of last year, where he managed to score 6 goals in 12 games. And I mean, don't get me wrong, MLS isn't exactly top quality, but it's still like League One level, and it was still banging in a goal every 2 games. But it's like he's kind of adapted his play kind of with us at minute in the last couple of games he's played, because I've always known Billy Sharp to be that kind of fox in the box, that person to knock in goals in that 6-yard box, forced to his feet in that 6-yard box. It's a goal 9 times out of 10 win. That's in his previous spell with us, but in this spell with Billy Sharp, it's part of our style of play at the minute, where the lone striker, whether it's Billy Sharp or Joe Ironside, they seem to be doing like a Harry Kane kind of style where they're drifting into midfield, and then we've got like Luke Molyneux and Gibson kind of like running in like inverted wingers, so they're making the front two behind, so it's kind of like, it's working. It's working to a treat. It's been good. On Gibson, Jordan, I've been really impressed with Jordan Gibson. Very good. He was Carlisle's player of the season last year in a poor Carlisle side. Their top scorer as well in League One for them. I think the whole transfer business, not just Billy Sharp or Gibson, I think the whole transfer business for us has just been really good. I've been really impressed. The bat, we can, the board, and hopefully we can deliver on that, really.
That's all you can ask as fans, isn't it? Is that you get support in the transfer window, and then it's up to, like you say, McCann and his staff and the players to go and deliver it at 3 o'clock on a Saturday or 7:45 on a Tuesday or whatever night it is. But yeah, 2 goals and an assist already for Billy Sharp is brilliant, and I think it's 1 of each for Jordan Gibson. It was. I mean, in terms of my doubts about Sharp, it was never going to be about ability, like you say, because he's played at a much higher level than League Two. It was just about whether the legs would be doing what the mind was telling him to do in a high energy pressing side that I think Grant McCann likes to be, doesn't he? But no, he's obviously settled in, and like you say, if the ball's in the 6-yard box or the 18-yard box, at worst he's going to hit the target and work the keeper. So he's, in that sense, it's probably low risk, and there's the romantic side of it as well, isn't there, coming back? And we've now got similar with Bradley Dack. So be interesting to see how he goes as the season goes on, and obviously the pitches become heavier and the weather gets colder and that type of thing, but certainly very encouraging. You've mentioned one other player, and we can't not talk about him. That's Luke Molyneux. Absolute train, the way he started the season. 4 goals and 2 assists already in 4 league starts. So absolutely phenomenal record so far. Is it fair to say that you're now finally getting the Luke Molyneux that you thought you got from Hartlepool a couple of years ago? Because I think it's fair to say he took a while to get going, but you've given him time, and now you're reaping the rewards.
Thing is with Luke is, I think when we first bought him from Hartlepool, he came with a massive kind of like reputation that he was such a good player, and I think at the time with us Rovers, we were going through a transition. We were trying to do things on the cheap, kind of, we're trying to self-sustain, and it wasn't working. Obviously, we had a previous chairman who's now left in Blunt, thankfully. But it kind of like Molyneux had no confidence. He was devoured of his confidence, and he showed in his game. He weren't taking people on. And I agree with what you've just said, Matt, is that we're finally seeing that Luke Molyneux, what we expected from Hartlepool. We got it, started seeing it in the last 6 months of last season. When he started.
Scored a belter at our place, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Last game of the season, finish. It was striking. That's when we was starting to see that, that confidence brimming again. Like the wingers do under McCann through the years. Whether the team has been to McCann, he's always got wingers playing. Like he got Delican playing, for example. Right? He come in, he weren't massive, he weren't pulling up trees. It's signing for us, and McCann's doing everything. But with Molyneux, I think these last 6 months or so, we're really seeing Ben Molyneux what we really expected, because he's got the confidence now, and that confidence is everything, and he can do it. He's been really good. I've been really impressed.
Yeah, he's been, like I say, he's definitely going to be one that we're going to have to keep an eye on at the weekend. But in terms of potentially key players that might be going under the radar, them type of players that just sort of do the stuff that goes a bit unseen, who else should we be keeping out for? Who else has quietly had a good start to the season?
It's a bit hard, to be fair, because it's like, it's the first couple of games, isn't it? And it's like, some people are still kind of like finding their feet.
Yeah.
It's like we're fully stacked in our midfield. We've got about 8 midfielders, and it's like we keep playing different combinations every game. It's, different ones keeps dropping in and people coming back from injury, such as Westbrook and Ben Close played yesterday in his first game in over nearly enough a year yesterday. So it's like people's coming back as well. But I'm going to say anybody. Oh, I don't get radar. Trying to think. Jay McGrath, defender. There you go. Yeah, very much so. He's a defender, quite solid in his couple of games he's played for us. He's a young lad. Jay McGrath, I'm going to say, is a bit underrated, to be fair.
Just have a look. Yeah, I've just brought up his details. So he's played. Oh, yes, we started one in the league and he's played in the trophy games as well. So we think he could be one that could push on as the season goes on.
We cleared shot offline against Bale at the weekend, over a kick off at line. So, yeah, he's a good player. I like him. We brought him in last season from Ireland, but he's a Doncaster born and bred player.
Okay.
But he obviously went off to Ireland and he never really played a senior game for us until we brought him back, really.
So he's one to keep an eye on as well. Yeah, and like you say, it's the benefit of having a good squad, isn't it? You want people that can step into the breach if you've got people missing through injury and suspension, and we know that's going to happen at every club up and down the country. So, I mean, fingers crossed we've had all ours out of the way now because we've had 6, 7, 8 missing each game so far.
We had that. We've had that for the last couple of seasons. I mean, beginning of last season, we had double digits for most of the season until January, when we brought David Rennie in, physio from Leicester, and he was highly experienced, and he's just sorted everything out medical wise. We've invested, the club has invested in novice youth medical equipment for him, and the season's just been a breeze, really. We got 2 or 3 out, but yeah.
I just hope you haven't jinxed it for your sake. In terms of Gills, what have you made of our start so far? Because I think it's fair to say that both clubs are sort of in the top portion in terms of bookies' favourites to do well. I think there's a little bit of expectation now on Gills with Mark Bonner there, and obviously Donny were always going to be one of the front runners because of the fact that they did so well at the end of last season to get to the playoffs. But what have you made as an outsider of the Gills start to the campaign?
We're your guys with Gillingham. I actually had you down to be up there with us at the top. I've actually got you in automatics in me, them predictions you do, but you never seem to come in. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. But I actually I've just been impressed with your recruitment, what you've done. I mean, you've brought in Nolan and a few others like Bradley Tack, don't get me wrong. But it's just, thing is with our guys is I just don't know against us on Saturday, but you always seem to struggle for goals, kind of. It's like always like a 1-0 or whatever for your guys. But I think you can really push on this season. I'm impressed with, like I said, your recruitment just screams out attacking.
I mean that to be the area of the pitch that we was improving, because I think we scored 46 league goals last season. It was under that the 2 seasons before, so it definitely needs rectifying. So
just how you've gone like attack minded in your recruitment. But your start's been pretty solid as well, like you said. Is it 4 wins and a draw? 3 wins and a draw. Yeah, sorry, 3 wins and a draw. So you haven't lost yet by Saturday. But But yeah, it's a good solid start, and you can only really build on that, can't you? Really,
That's it. It is very, very early, and I know it's nice to be top, but table means not a lot at the
nothing.
moment. I think, yeah, until
No,
probably end of October, you start seeing it, and you think, right, if we're still there, then we've got half a chance. But Mark Bonner, to be fair to him, has been very much like that. He's like, this is where we want to be, but we're here, and there's so much work in between the two to get to where we want to be. But yeah, I mean, I like him. I just think he's a proper football man, and he's just I've said plenty of times, he's just a manager that makes you believe and you want to go with him and just
yeah,
enjoy the journey. So, and he's quite straight
yeah.
down. He's very
Is
straight
he?
down the middle.
Would you? What do you find the difference between him and Clements? Because I know you're a bit tipsy turvy with Clements. You know,
I
what did you
wasn't a
think?
fan of Stephen Clements. I've said
No,
that plenty of times. I've been shot down by other Gills fans and told that I should have given him more time. But you know, we all see it differently, and that's absolutely fine. But I just don't think we saw enough tangible improvements under Stephen Clements, given that we were promised a big change of direction after Neil Harris went. And it's all right passing the ball a bit more and crossing it a bit more, but if you don't score goals and you don't win football matches, then you've not really gone anywhere. So I wasn't disappointed that Stephen Clements was relieved of his duties, but fair play to him. He's gone and made a really good start at Barrow. So you know, with the benefit of a full pre-season, he might do really well up there, and that's absolutely fine. But as a Gills fan, I'm worried about Mark Bonner now, and he's done absolutely everything correct so far. He talks well, he carries himself correctly, understands the work that's needed to be done, and yeah, like I say, I love listening to his post-match and pre-match press conferences. He's just very straight down the middle. I think the first one after pre-season was boring. Pre-season's a waste of time apart from getting people fit. And then last night he come out and said, because we know the competition in terms of the whatever it's called now, Bristol Street Motors trophies,
yeah,
much
yeah,
maligned, but he said, I thought that was a really good game. It was two good sides, and we were unlucky not to get something out of it. So, yeah, no, I'm a big fan, and fingers crossed it can continue for the next 42 games as opposed to just the first four. In terms
yeah.
of team news, because obviously we're recording on a Wednesday, so the press conferences aren't out till the day after. I assume you made changes in the week in beating Huddersfield, so I'd imagine it'll be more like the team that beat Port Vale at the weekend come Saturday 3 o'clock, unless there's any injuries or suspensions that you need to tell us about.
That's the thing. I never know who we're gonna play because we have a squad, you know, and we have depth. It's
Mhm.
just kind of like if anybody's injured, then the person who comes in is just as good as the person who's got injured. You know, so I never know who is gonna go for, you know. Like I said earlier, our midfield is stacked. It's
Mhm.
just so random that we can play all different combinations in that midfield. And I don't know who he's going to go for. You know, same up top. Is it going to be Ironside? Is it going to be Sharp? You know, it's just kind of like, yeah. But I imagine it. The people who I do know who is definitely not going to be featuring is Richard Wood. He's got a broken ankle,
Okay.
so he's out for a good while. And James Maxwell, left back.
Yep.
He's got a broken foot, so he's also out for about 3 months or so. So yeah, I know them two are definitely missing from the game. And I think Tom Nixon's going knock right back, but I'm not too sure whether he'll shake it off in time for the visit of your guys. Um, but it's like the defence. I'm going to say it's probably going to be Sharman Lowe in there,
Yep.
and it'll probably be Stevie right back, Anderson, McGrath defence, and Fleming left back, and
Yep.
then in midfield it's a guessing game. Like it's a proper guessing game, but it'll probably be Bailey and Clifton. Westbrook. I mean, yeah, Westbrook. Yeah, I think
Yep.
basically same 11 against Bale. I think it'll be Westbrook, Molineux, Gibbo, and Sharp up top. I think it'll be
Which is a good side, and then especially when you look at the likes of people that you've got on the bench that you can bring on the likes of Joe Ironside, it's not a bad first choice replacement, is it? Yeah, I mean, Gills is pretty much a guesswork at the moment as well because of all the injury problems. So I think we've only got one fit centre half for Saturday because Maxime was suspended because he got sent off last Saturday. Ollie Hawkins, who's been playing as a centre half in pre-season, has got a broken wrist. So I'm not sure he's going to be available. And Connor Masterson's got tendonitis in his ankle, so I'm not sure when he's going to return. So it might mean a bit of a reshuffle. We've then got Ewan Williams, young lad who we got from Charlton. He's away on international duty, having served a ban. Jake Turner ruptured his ankle in training last week, so that'd be Glenn Morris in goal again. And then Aaron Rowe went off with a hamstring. Timmy Dieng missed last week and Tuesday with a knee problem. And then the likes of Ethan Coleman, Bradley Dack, Josh Andrews and Elliot Nevitt are all coming back from not playing for a long time. So I can't see it being too different to last weekend. So I think probably it might just be one change. I think Robbie McKenzie might have to drop in at centre half and then we'll have to bring in an extra midfielder into the middle of the park. But yeah, it's got all the makings of being a good game. I'm just looking at, I think since 2014, there's been 9 games at your place. I think we've won 2, you've won 3, and there's been 4 draws. We've scored 11, you've scored 12. So it's got all the makings of being a hard-fought, even game, which I think they are. I think even the games that you've won or we've won have all just been by the odd goal. 1-0 here, 2-1 there. So final question before I let you go and enjoy your evening is what's the score going to be?
Oh, jeez. If somebody said take a draw for tomorrow, I actually would take a draw against you.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I've just heard your team news from yourself and half of your players are either injured or unfit, I think we'll give you your first defeat at season, and I think it'll be 2-1 to us, I think.
Enough. No issue with you backing your own team when you're playing well as well. And yeah, I think if someone said to me, you could go out there and take a point now, I'd bite your arm off. It'd be another point on the road away at a team that's likely to be in and around us in the table. And again, with getting the players back fully fit, I think it'd be a decent point. So I'm going to go with 1-1. I think it'll be a score draw. But equally, like you say, it could either side could nick it by the odd goal as well. But I think it'll be a really good game. It is 2 good sides with good players at the end of the day and then 2 good gaffers at the level. So it's got all the makings of being a decent encounter.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I mean, I take a point, like you just said, don't get me wrong, but like I've just said, after hearing your team news just said, I was like, maybe that's just swayed me a little bit, kind of, you know.
It's getting a bit smaller, but it seems like, but then it's nature of the beast. Again, you get one back in one area and then someone else somewhere else goes and picks up a problem. So you never get everyone fully fit, but that's life.
That's something where now we know that if we get injuries like we have done, like to his left back and centre back in Wood and Maxwell, we've replaced them with like just as good a player, and we're not having to fill it in. Like you said, you've only got one fit centre back for fixture on Saturday.
Yeah, we've got 3 out, three unavailable.
Yeah, we've got 1 out, and we've still got like 4 on the books. You know, so it's just like, yeah, we're just like, okay, you're injured, we'll just replace you. We're just as good a player. And
that's
it's
it,
just,
the quality, our quality is fine. Yeah. It's just we've got so many in one position at the moment. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous. Yeah, just a bit unlucky, I guess. But yeah, look forward to the game. So
yeah, I'm not getting up there, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to make do with it on Sky Sports Plus. But yeah, really looking forward to watching it. Should be a good game. Gills fans, Doncaster fans, if you are still watching at this point, then I really do appreciate it. Like I say, the support is always welcomed. If you can, please consider hitting that like button and also press subscribe. It is free to do so if you've got a Google Mail account, as we try to reach 4,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Like I said, big thanks to Danny again. His details and the Rambling Rovers details are just down there in the description at the bottom of this video. So go and click follow on X for both of them, please. No match day live this weekend. Like I've said, unfortunately not making it up, but there will be a Gills in the pub episode with myself, Jack and Reese to keep you occupied on the drive up or the train journey up or the coach journey up to Doncaster. So you can watch that before the game. And of course, myself, Reese, and hopefully a Donny fan will be back Sunday with a match day review show to, fingers crossed, talk about another positive Gills performance and another positive result. But until then, Thanks again to Danny. Enjoy the rest of your week, and up the Gills.